being appreciative of the wisdom within. Deb, what does that brings back to me? It feels like such a calming, soothing energy. What is it you feel when we kind of feel that, being appreciative of it?
The word trust, and just
definitely,
but it just feels like, for me, the physical thing is this beautiful blanket that's just come around me and just gone. Your trust is there, so you don't need to trust it. You just know. It's like a knowing that you need. Like, you don't have to go, oh, I need to trust, need to trust, need to trust. It's like I just know.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest, and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, dear Deb. Hello, dear listeners. Hi. Here we are with another one of our awesome, deliciously motivated mindset conversations. That's the intent. That is the intent.
That's the intent. Yes, it better be.
Absolutely. We've got a really good, soft, yummy topic to talk today about. But before we get into that, we like to, and Deb always
we like to do it.
We do like to do it. So we like to just check in with ourselves. How are we feeling emotionally, mentally, spiritually connected? Are you connected with yourself on a scale of 0 to 10? And 0 is where you're completely calm, feeling in balance, harmonious with yourself and everything around you. And 10 is thinking, OMG, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. It's chaotic, crazy making. And we actually, all of us, move up and down that scale. And the intent of our conversations is to take you from wherever you are and move you down closer to that 0. That is our intention and our sort of guiding force with these conversations.
Another way you go, guiding force. Yeah.
All that being said, what number are you at, my dear Deb?
A 2. Because I went, I might be a 3. No, you're a 2. And then I went, just say you're a 3. And then went, no, because then I'm going to be lying. And I'm like, and who are you lying to? And does it really matter if you're a 2 or a 3? So this, when you're talking, I'm hearing this whole internal dialogue of, even though we do this every single time, every single time, I'm like, does it really matter if you're a 2 or a 3? Is someone going to be disappointed? Like, what's going on, Deborah? And I'm like, no, I'm a 2. End of story. Shut that noise down. So I'm a 2, but I will just say, don't lie to yourself. If you feel like you're a 3, say you're a 3. I'm not going to.
A 3.
We're not going to stop the podcast, and
And even if you're at 7, I encourage you to take a deep breath and be at that 7. But for me, it's funny.
Okay.
It's funny because you're saying about dancing between 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. That's actually what was going on for me. But I'm putting myself at a 2.5 because the wavering was kind of like, And you know how we've said this before, prior to, like, when we're getting ready and we know what we're talking about, I get a bit of a scratchy throat, and that usually says there's something for me to face or to speak out. Things of that nature. So I'm putting myself
just as well you're on a podcast, because you are going to be speaking out then.
That's it. That's exactly it. And I'll mute myself if I start to cough.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that would be helpful.
Wow. So like we said,
I love how you juggled between 2 and 3. So listeners, I just want to let you know, this is what happens. So you don't have to go, how long is it going to take me? What number am I? And go down that whole path and just go, okay, well, I'm a 2 or I'm a 3 or I don't know. Well, then you're a 2.5.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's no right or wrong in what number you are.
It's just an assessment tool, right?
Yeah.
And to help you get some comparative spaciousness about what you're experiencing, right? So listeners, we encourage you to jot down where you're at, and then maybe even when we do the halftime, check in with yourself, and then we will be checking in again with you all at the end. Yes.
Listen to me.
So let's get into this awesome topic, being appreciative of the wisdom within. That just feels like so melting yourself. Being appreciative of the wisdom within. Deb, what does that brings back to me? It feels like such a calming, soothing energy. What is it you feel when we kind of feel that? Being appreciative of it.
The word trust, and just
definitely,
but it just feels like, for me, the physical thing is this beautiful blanket that's just come around me and just gone. Your trust is there, so you don't need to trust it. You just know. It's like a knowing that you need. Like, you don't have to go, oh, I need to trust. It's like I just know. Like that trust is so fulfilling, and I know that I can make any decision, or every decision I make, it's just going to be okay. Yeah. When I say that trust, would that makes some level of sense?
It does. I think it's really important to. I love that idea of the being wrapped in that blanket of knowing that wisdom is like a nurturing blanket. But trust is such an important piece in all of this too, because I find, and I've known myself to be too much into my head, like, oh, I've got a situation, I've got to figure this out, or I've got this goal, or I said I was going to do this, and so maybe not having as high a level of appreciation for the fact, oh, wait a minute, I actually just need to be for a moment, maybe put my hand over my heart to allow that wisdom to bubble up. Right?
If you're saying the word trust, if you're going, oh, I need to trust this, I've got to trust this, then you're definitely not appreciating the wisdom within.
Exactly.
Because if you're reminding yourself, oh, I must trust this, or I have to trust this.
This is a woulda, shoulda, coulda type of thing going on.
It's an urgency, it's a desperation, it's that.
Or trying to convince yourself, right?
Yeah, totally. Which is all in your head instead of your soul and your heart.
That's right.
And I know, so being appreciative of the wisdom within is just, it's like, I'll just say, flowing through the stream, flowing through, swimming down the riverbank. Riverbanks over there in the beach. Just floating on your back, and just whatever thought comes into your head, it's okay. Whatever, oh gosh, that's cold on here, I've just gone through a cold part, I'm just visualizing floating down the river. Oh, there's a cold part, wow, that's beautiful. Not going, oh, wonder why it's cold, what's going on, what do I need, it's just it's that
it's that acknowledging that, yes, you're the author and the actor in
your ship.
This, in this scenario. And so you get to, when we appreciate the wisdom within, we always know that we're in the right place at the right time, that we have the tools that we need, we have the resources, we have the capacity to deal with what's showing up in front of us. Now, the flip side of that is sometimes we can be in situations where our logical head going, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't have the tools to do that. I don't have that awareness. Well, you don't in your thinking mind. Where that is where I trust. So I can think of a number of times where, somebody would say to me, well, what are you going to say when this happens? I have no idea.
You look around like, what? Who? Me? Like, where am I getting my answer from? It hasn't happened yet.
Exactly. But that's the whole piece, is when I get there, it'll land. I'll know then.
Yeah, and I think that makes me think, when we go being appreciative of the wisdom within, you don't have to question it. Anything. You don't have to question, oh, why am I getting in the river? Why is this cold?
Yeah.
Why am I floating on my back? Why is the sun looking like, why is the clouds moving quickly? Like, you don't have to question anything, and you don't have to strategize to find answers. Like, oh, okay, so if it's cold here, it could get colder later down. So do I pee now in the river, or do I hold it in? Like, you don't have, that's such great. Deborah, gosh, I can hear myself. My mum's listening to this going, Deborah, did you have to say that? Yeah, I did. So being appreciative of the wisdom within means you don't have to question which is in your head. You don't have to question all those things. You don't have to strategize. You don't have to plan. It's just hand on that heart and just float and have that trust. But it's a knowing. It's a deep down. But it's also that being appreciative is that gratitude. It's just, it's okay. And it's everything's okay. But okay,
everything's okay, and it's all
okay. Sounds like a boring word.
But it's more than okay. Everything's clicking into place, and it's the right order at the right time. And all I have to do is be aware of maybe what's this next step right in front of me. Right.
Just acknowledging that, oh, it's cold here. Okay.
Yeah.
And then carrying on, like, instead of going, oh, it's cold, why? Because then you're going to be on that hamster wheel, and we know that hamster wheel is a flipping nightmare because all you do is fall off it. But if you can just go, oh, it's cold, I acknowledge that, I can see that, yes, and carry
not
on.
Necessarily need to ascribe any kind of story to it. It's just an experience, just part of it.
Letting that story go. It's cold.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 minutes ago it was cold and it's not now. Wow, I wonder why. What was going on back then? Yeah. I think the beautiful, there's so many beautiful words in that. Being appreciative of the wisdom within. Appreciative is just a glitter bomb on its own. Just appreciative is just that gratitude where we know that your heart is filled up. And when you're appreciative, you're not in your head.
That's right.
You're in your heart.
And that's kind of what I was trying to say, that it's like coming down from that thinking process, which we're all conditioned to do too much of.
Don't think that Moira and I don't do that.
No, I know, that's how come I'm saying it.
Yeah.
I've done it lots.
Don't think we sit in our glitter bomb bubble. Oh, some dark glitter gets thrown in there and we want to throw it out. And that's okay too. But
being appreciative of the wisdom within allows you to feel it, to recognize it, and at some point go, okay, I don't need to get stuck in this loop.
I don't need to attach that story And the wisdom within is that whole, the word within is that whole soul, not within your head, within your,
definitely not in your head.
Yeah, within all the blood that flows through. And there is absolute wisdom within everything and everyone, but we all have different wisdom. Like Moira can quote things from, she goes, oh, I remember reading a book 11 years ago and this is the quote and the book cover is this. Now Moira is great for that, and she'll tell you, she won't tell you the page number, I haven't hit her up for that, but she'll be able to tell you the color of the book, the type of book, and the quote and who it's from. Yeah, and she will be able to recite that. And so she has that incredible wisdom that sits in there. Me, I'll go, oh, some bloke said something about being okay with, I don't know what the other thing, and then Moira will go, oh, that's a green book, and that's da-da-da, and it's quoted by this and da-da-da. So we all also would like to say is the wisdom within is very different from everybody, so don't compare yourself.
Very true. Very true.
Moira's wisdom is a different level of wisdom to me. But there's a beautiful wisdom between us both together, and I think that's the thing in relationships, intimate or not, business or even just random people you meet on the street, that connection is we all have a different level of wisdom within us, and somebody can say something. Look, I remember my daughter, I think I probably told you this privately. I don't even know if she's going to listen. So Sophie, if you listen, just hold on tight. I have worked on gratitude. My business is around gratitude. My business I've been going for 16 years or 17 years, I think. Everything is gratitude. be grateful for that, be grateful for that, be grateful for what you have, be grateful you don't have. I've ingrained that gratitude journal, gratitude in my head, gratitude notes. I say to people when people go, oh, I'm having this card, so what are you grateful for? Just right now, nothing, and I was like, okay. So last year my daughter came to me and she'd been having a few challenges in her business, and she came to me and she said, Mum, did you know that if you do a gratitude journal every night and write down all the things you're grateful for, you have a better sleep? And I literally was just like, did you just say that? She's like, oh my God, this person said this and it's really helped me. And I'm thinking, my daughter's 21. I have for the last 15, 16, 17 years drummed that into you that we used to sit at the kitchen table and do gratitude. What are you grateful for your day? And then she goes, Mum, I'm having amazing sleeps now just by doing this. And I'm like, oh my God. So her level of wisdom about the gratitude was not attaching to mine,
From yours, yeah,
mine, and to think. And so what the beautiful thing is, she's got it.
Yeah,
I don't care where the message came from, but she understands that. And if you're not sleeping, gratitude.
absolutely.
Like they don't say, we say count sheep in New Zealand. Do you say count sheep over there?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
We do. Counting sheep to help you go to sleep.
Yeah, that's it. So I say, don't count sheep. Start
counting your blessings.
Being
grateful for it all. Yeah,
absolutely. But to hear Sophie say that, oh, Mum, did you know this? I'm like, oh my God, I have given you that tip for how long? And now you're just like, oh, it's so exciting. I'm sleeping so much better, and I could just get so angry with myself. I could get angry with her. But what I love is that she's recognized that this is a great tool and it's working for her.
Yeah. That's so important, because I was going to say that each one of us records the wisdom or hears it here. And I'm putting quotes, putting my fingers in
the air.
Fingers in the air. Because the thing is some of us will get a visceral sense of something. Some of us will hear it by the spoken word, or we'll feel it through our emotional intelligence, or we might have an epiphany land during a meditation, and a combination of all of those types of things. So if you continue trying to tell somebody something using the same words each time and they're not getting it, it's okay. It's just, it's not in their language or on their bandwidth, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just because they're not ready to imbibe of that wisdom, right?
Well, yeah. And so I love that, because I go, you can say A, B, C, D, and somebody may only hear A, B, C, and that's okay if they've got the message. And if they're asking for advice from you and you go A, B, C, D, and they go, oh, I heard A, B, C, but if I just do A, B, C and it works,
then
do I really need to push the D side of it? No.
Yeah, yes, because that would then be you getting into an agenda of, you can only get that if you do all four of these.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's another level of me being appreciative of my wisdom, just to know that I can educate A, B, C, D, and they only may get A or B, but they're going to get, so me going, okay, well, that's okay, because they've even got two. They've got two of the four. That's amazing. That's awesome. Beautiful. But if they only got one, or they got all four, like, that's still amazing. And the person's like, well, I can only take one or two. That's still amazing of them. And I think that's the level of being appreciative of that wisdom within, of their wisdom, recognizing their wisdom and not trying to change them, I guess. Even if they've come to you for help, just showing them the beauty in what they have.
Absolutely. And I think that brings it back to the trust, like you were saying earlier, that for you trust that when you present something, or you suggest something, or you teach somebody something, you trust that when you're doing it and you say, here's the 4 steps, or like in my letting go formula, it's a 5-step formula. But if somebody walks away and only does the first 2 steps, they're going to feel really good. And I'm not going to say, oh, hey, Kate, come back. You got to get the other 3, or else, you're still going to stay stuck. Because it's to meet people where they are. Each one of us are on our own evolution and our own journey to create what it is we want to create or be what we want to be. And where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, I think I know. Look, being appreciative isn't hard.
It's
Just
not.
like it's not. This is not a challenge. You can just stop and go hand on heart. If you're having a chaotic day, hand on heart, breathe and just go, what am I appreciative of? Nothing. Well, actually, one, that you can feel your heart.
Yep.
2, that your heart is beating.
Yep.
Like, just focus on that. 3, that you have a mind that can do crazy shit, right? 4, that you can think about things. Like, there's 4 things you can be appreciative of. Any of those things. And I think when we think about that, we just go, what else can we be appreciative of? So you just start with the little stuff. And I'm not saying the heartbeat is the little stuff. The heartbeat is definitely not the little stuff, but it's just a start. So start with that heartbeat, and then where is it going to go from there? But also know that if your PEMS aren't in order, what's your PEMS, Moira?
It's your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual.
Yeah.
For the 4 pillars.
If they're wobbling, and if they're not 100%, because no one's ever going to get 100% on any of them, by the way, they're not 100%, your day can change. So even if you go, I'm appreciative today of my heart beating, or I'm appreciative that I can feel my heart, or the sun shining, or whatever, just know that in 2 hours' time, you may have had another level of PEMS that has started to wobble. So you may not be as appreciative of that. So go back to the heart, go back to the start, and be okay with that.
Yeah.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
Wisdom within is it goes down that part of comparison. Yesterday I was fine, I could handle this. Today I can't.
Oh, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
No, we can so easily jump into that. You were saying it earlier about when you were talking about going down the river and it's cold.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Who cares why it's cold? That's it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's because to me, why will always bring about
why is it? I told so many
negativity.
people.
Yeah.
Someone said to me, why is this happening to me? I was like, stop. Hang on, stop. No. If Moira had to tell you, stop right now. Forget that. Why?
Right, this moment. Yeah, because the thing is that when we talk about being appreciative of the wisdom within has always been the guiding force, the navigational GPS equipment, if you like, within me. And it is for everybody. And so for somebody to ever get into a situation where it's, why is this happening to me?
Why me? It doesn't happen to my sister.
Yes.
Why me?
Instead, how could you get into this? Yay, me, look what I get to do.
I've taught probably in the last year more people because I changed my mindset to when you get an issue, you celebrate it. You go, oh, here's a goodie.
Yeah,
you've
said that before. This. I like that.
And being appreciative. Oh, I've unlocked another little money block or a block or a story or a whatever. And just for me, I've only been doing that probably maybe for the last couple of years or so, but I've just gone and I've felt it. So when chaos hits, I don't get into an emotional go, oh God, I've got to deal with that. Oh my God, it's too much. I've got this and this, It's just like, oh, here's a goodie. I don't have the time right now to deal with it, so I'm going to park it. But I've unlocked something. I'm going to park that, so it's going to myelinate in its own level, whatever level it is.
Yep.
But just being appreciative of unlocking that block, I guess.
Yeah. But even unlocking it too, sometimes
celebrating the block,
but also too, and this is going into my letting go process, is that sometimes just literally being aware of, like, oh, there's something that I reacted to that can oftentimes just be enough to go, okay, I'm going to just stay present, and I don't need to get into a story. That's the biggest thing that I find that we tend to do, is we want to explain or justify or explain, why this is happening to me and not somebody else, and vice versa, right? It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like, no, I'm the boss of me. I put myself here because I actually am navigating this life.
Yeah, I think, I'd like, look, there's so much. My head is just exploding with a million things of that. Is exactly, I put myself here.
I put myself here. Yeah.
And so I see it,
Mhm.
I acknowledge it,
Mhm.
I can deal with it or not.
Yeah,
Or
and I don't have to like it. I don't have to like it.
Yeah.
I can just go, okay, I did this.
So horrible scenario, horrible, not horrible, a pimple. So you get a pimple and you know it's starting to go up and you can feel it. And I often get the old ones up my nose and you're like, ow, ow, ow. And then next thing you know, it's white. I know this is a disgusting scenario, white, but the more you can just go, okay, well, there it is there. Okay, I can acknowledge it. It's there. Now I can deal with that, or I can just let it be. If it's not going to affect my world, I might just let it be. If it's going to affect my world, I might want to do something. But just acknowledging it takes the sting away from, oh my God, I've got a pimple. I'm this year's old. I'm so old. I've got a pimple. What's going on? What have I eaten? What's going on? Da, da, da. And you go into that marathon running mind of stories.
Yeah.
That just
to explain it. I have to explain what is the reason. Yeah.
And if you're running that marathon, every K you've got to have an answer.
Yeah.
Or you've got to go, oh, there's another K to go, or there's another K to go. Like if you're counting those Ks to end that marathon, that's what it's like. It's like, oh, I've got a pimple. Oh, I wonder, why did that happen? Did I eat something? Did I sleep differently? Did I not drink enough water? Is it my moisturizer? Like there's a lot of scenarios that can go on. Like, so instead of just going, oh, I've got a pimple. Okay. Well, you've only got one pimple. You haven't had a million or whatever, but you can deal with it or not. You can pop it or whatever, put a hot flannel on and burn your nose anyway outside of your pimple or not, but you just can acknowledge that there's wisdom in acknowledging.
There's wisdom in acknowledging, and there's wisdom in the experience of it. So it's like, you could go and refer to somebody like Louise Hay, for instance.
Here she goes with her book, and this book is this size and it's this color and da da da. Here we go.
There's
we're waiting on no
colors.
pressure.
Multiple colors.
There is. I know that one.
Is that you can heal your life.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that even in the middle of those books, she has a chart of issues. So like whitehead or pimple or rash or skin irritation. And in there, she talks about what's the potential mindset or thinking process, and then she gives you an affirmation of how to maybe get more into appreciativeness. Another body of work that I love in this area is by Ina Siegel. She has The Secret Language of Your Body. And so because you see you saying about you got a pimple, your body's communicating to you. And by going into, oh gosh, why is this happening? Is it because I, didn't eat right, or I ate something wrong, or I didn't? No, just look at the energetics of it. What's it communicating? Because it's actually communicating something for your highest and best good.
Well, that's your little flag, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So in fact, something that just landed in my head as I was saying that is that sometimes a pimple could be saying, hey, you just let something get under your skin.
Well, I know so pimples and rashes are anger and stress.
Yes.
and you either pop it or you don't.
Right.
But it's how often you're getting them and what's come up.
Right.
But if you don't want to deal with it, that's totally okay. Just breathe through it. But you do get your little warnings to anything. So anything physical, you and I both know. I mean, that's one of the things I work on is the mind and body link. So anything physical is sitting in your mind. What's going on? What's the bigger picture there? So when we know it gets to the physical, You got to deal with it.
You do, because it's already happened in the energetics of you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when we get into this whole piece of appreciating the wisdom within guides us when things are getting under our skin, or when things are building up and you're getting angry. The thing about anger is a really interesting point too. So many people, especially people who do a lot of spiritual work on themselves, think that being angry is not okay. No, I'm a spiritually evolved person. Anger is not
I can't do that.
Yeah. But the thing is anger is an important emotion. It's actually just as important as any of the other emotions on the emotional scale. So
Everyone
you allow it, flow it through you, allow it to do maybe some fire in your belly to do something different. You know, go chop some wood.
I think we're quick. I think we're quick to dismiss those negative, they're perceived as negative emotions.
Yes. Yeah.
They're actually not negative emotions.
No.
They are emotions.
They're just emotions.
That's it. And when you can neutralize.
They're demanding our respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you can neutralize it and just go, I can acknowledge it. That's what it is. So that's I can acknowledge it and be appreciative of it.
Yeah.
That's a whole beautiful level of wisdom within.
Absolutely.
But you don't need the book. You don't need the book to go, what is this pimple from?
Yeah, exactly.
You have that wisdom within.
You actually
already know, okay, I know what it is.
Yeah.
I can deal with it or not. Like, how big of an impact is it going to have? But it is all about, being appreciative of the wisdom within is actually being appreciative of everything.
Yes.
Of life.
Yeah.
Is the core.
Well, because it's because it's the recognition that life's happening through you, not to you. It's happening through you. And so that's the whole flow, is that beautiful flow of wisdom and experience and joy and happiness and
fulfillment.
And sometimes it feels discombobulating. Yeah. It's part of the experience.
So I love this. I love appreciative of the wisdom within. It just it's trusting that soul decision.
Yes.
Not and you don't need someone else to tell you what does your soul say. Well, actually, that's one of the things I say. What does your soul say? I do say that to people. What is your soul saying to you? I don't know. I need an answer. I'm like, okay, you're not going to get that. You're seeing in your head.
Exactly.
Let's just get you into that. And I do say calming space. Let's just get you present. Hand on your heart and breathe. Now I want you to breathe like that for a minute. Oh, I can't do that for a minute. That's like a long minute. I'm like, okay, we'll breathe for half a minute. If you're going to count 1,000, do 1,000, you're going to count 60. You're probably going to forget what number you're up to after about 30. But that's still in your head. So if you can just sit in your heart and feel that, and when you're ready, the answers will come. And I think that's the thing, is that not desperation, that, the wisdom is there, absolutely, but you're not desperate to get an answer. Like, people go, I've been trying this, and I'm like, yeah, well, you're not going to get an answer. Because then
absolutely you're not.
If you're desperate around me, I'm not going to want to hang around with you. Oh, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. Well,
that reminds me of a blog post article I wrote many years ago. It was all about shifting from desperation to inspiration.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you're in desperation of getting some insight, or what is my soul saying? What is my higher self trying to guide me? It's going to just keep just going to keep pace with you and never come into your awareness. Simply because you create this sort of rigid thinking, stuck way too much in your head when you're in desperation. I have to figure out. Right.
You're literally sitting under a cloud.
Yeah.
Now there's beauty in that cloud because it does get you present, but you're on that hamster wheel for sure. And when you're, what's happening? Why? That's when the why comes up. Why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
Why am I still here? Why is my friends at this level and I'm not? Why is my why? Yeah, you just get off the hamster wheel, and we know what happens there. You fall on your back and your legs in the air. Yeah.
Whereas with inspiration, I like to think of inspiration as inspire, right? Breathe in, and take some deep breaths.
Well, so say the word desperation and say the word inspiration. And so everyone right now, outside their mind, Moira and I aren't going to do it, like verbally say desperation and feel
desperation.
Feel your energy, feel your tongue, feel your shoulders, feel that. So say the word desperation or desperation. So everyone do that, great. And you felt that. Now say the word inspiration. Now you'll notice I said it with the same level of kick, but say the word inspiration and feel where your shoulders go. Feel where your chin lifts up, your eyes actually open, like feel everything. You can't, desperation is already a downhill spiral, that word, but inspiration, you actually have to put your shoulders back. Your physical can't say inspiration without them coming back.
That's right.
Like if you slump over and you go inspiration, your shoulders automatically want to go back.
It's your shoulders going back and your heart opening.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Openness right here.
There's so much wisdom within of the words we use.
Absolutely. That's so important. So important.
And so when I say to people, they go, oh, I hate doing this, or I don't want to do the groceries, or I don't want to, and I have to do this. And that's the same thing as that have to, is those shoulders over. So I said, well, imagine if you said, I love cleaning the house. They're like, well, I don't. I'm like, okay, so just say, I love cleaning. They're like, I don't. And I'm like, just say it out loud. Like after about 3 times I've yelled at them. No, I don't really yell. No, actually, I don't think I yell. And then they're like, okay, I'll say it. You know, because they're drained from me. Yeah, just to keep you happy. And they say, oh, I love cleaning. I'm like, oh, what happened then? And they're like, that sounded different. Well, hang on, what did you do? Did you put a spell on me? Did you put a witch's spell on me? And it is that whole, you can't say I love something, even if you don't want to clean the house or whatever, and you change the words I love, that's the same with inspiration. You can't say it with your shoulders down and frumpy. Yep. Or you can, but you're challenging your body there. But when you say, I love to do this, it just feels different. But I encourage people to say it aloud, because hearing it and then connecting to your body physical reactions is just, I guess, a confirmation.
Absolutely. And you know, something that I say to clients is that sometimes it is a wee bit too much of a stretch for some people to say, I love this. Mm-hmm. And I suggest, and if that is the case, is to say, I get to do this. Ooh, I get to do this.
You're nice. I go, no, you've got to say love. I choose to do this. I choose to. Yeah.
Yeah, I choose to. I get to. The reason I wanted to interject that is I hear you, but I'm also very aware of what I call the mosquito of doubt. And I don't want that to be at play. So if somebody is just doing it to say, I love doing this because I said to them to say that, and they're in their head going, yeah, well, I freaking only saying this because Moira said so.
Because Deborah says so. Deborah
made me. Deborah made me do this.
Deborah made me say this. But our wisdom within, our body will always tell us
absolutely
what's right or wrong, what's left or right. Our body's already telling us everything. Our body is so powerful.
It is.
Our soul and our body.
Yeah.
Our mind can go, yes, do this. Oops. Or no, don't do this. And we can flip our mind with pros and cons on lists of anything, but our soul always knows the answer. And your soul is connected to your body and is going to give you a lot of signs if you're open to it, because that wisdom is absolutely there.
It is. Yeah, totally agree.
I feel like we've just started, Moira.
I know, gosh, we just opened this all up again.
Then we just went, kaboom, let's just do this. So we're wrapping up now. So being appreciative of the wisdom within. Moira, what would you like to, is there anything you'd like to end on?
I think it's really important for those of you who don't think you've got wisdom within. Stop telling that story. Well, Deb would make you slap yourself. I'm saying stop telling that story.
Yeah.
Create, what is it you could do on a daily basis, even if it's just for a couple of minutes, to just sit quietly and allow it to whisper to you the guidance, oh, I'd like to try this, or, because a question I often ask and encourage people to use if they're having issues, trying to work something out, should I choose this or this? Ask yourself, if I knew the answer, what would it be?
Oh yeah, she does that to me if I ask her a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's such a fun, light-hearted, playful thing. And then you go, oh, I knew it all along. It's right there.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many coaches I've coached, and they've said, oh, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, what would you, if you were your own client, what would you tell yourself?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, this and this. And I'm like, okay, so there you go. And then they're like, oh, I just paid you for that money. I'm like, yeah, it's really easy, isn't it? You've got the wisdom within.
You do have the wisdom within.
I think I love those. I love that. And I mean, I do the shower trick. I'm sure I've told you about the shower. But if you want to know what my shower trick is, then bang it into the comments and I'll add it in there, because that's how I get all my answers, is in my shower as well. Because I'm present. I have no phone. I have no distraction. I do have a dog sitting outside the shower waiting to lick my legs, which is just disgusting. He just looks at you and he's like, I want to lick your legs. I'm like, no, I'll have my towel, I'll dry myself all the way in here until I come out with moisturizer on, so you don't like my legs. Like, that's just revolting. That's our little one, Finn. Anyway, just told you about my shower. But I think he's got some wisdom. He's like, you will break. You will break. One day you're going to step out here because you forgot to put your towel inside there. But I think just loving yourself for whatever level you're at right now, whatever you're at, and just being appreciative of that. And I guess that's a perfect one, because we're going to go to our numbers now. I know Moira was a 2.5 and I was a 2. So whatever you were, listeners, being appreciative of that number, where you started, where you were at halftime, and where you are now. So Moira, where are you at now?
I'm at a 0. I love this. It feels like this is the big loving warm blanket that I needed on this day.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I agree. I'm a 0 too, and I will say I'm sitting on a decision about 2 things, and this has just really helped me unlock the decision.
That's awesome. That's wonderful.
Which is, I'm just like, oh, do I go this one or this one? And I think, well, I know when my heart is calling.
Yep.
So
very cool. That's when the wisdom is stirring and going, psst, you already know the answer.
That's the one. So let us know how your numbers change. That would be great. If you want to know my little shower trick, let me know. Let Moira, we'll put it in the comments. We'll be able to comment on that. Moira's probably got a few more tricks herself up her sleeve. Thank you, everybody, for being appreciative of the wisdom within. We are sharing our wisdom externally. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, send them to us privately. It's up to you. We consult. We are here for you. And let's get everybody moving to another level of inspiration over desperation.
Absolutely. And remember,
thanks, listeners.
Remember what that feels like to you.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you, awesome. Moira. Thank you, listeners.
Thank you, listeners. Thanks, dear Deb. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.